definitely burned parts of my brain away at that period in my life. It's bad news. Anyway.
Talking about the scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. Hector's not here today because he went on a trip and he has yet to return. So hopefully he's all right, but I'm pretty sure he is. But it's just me, so you're going to have to put up with me flying solo. Luckily, today we have 3 guests, so it's going to be it's made up for by the guests. So we have Chxsing Stxrs with us. How's it going, guys?
Doing good, man. Thank you for having us on here.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure. Tyler, you were here a couple of weeks ago, weren't you, mate?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, before you know it, we'll be roommates.
I had to beat Lexi for that.
Oh, right. Yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we? Anyway, back to the business at hand. Chxsing Stxrs. So can you give me a little bit of just a sort of potted history of how the band came about?
Sure, yeah, I'll let you know. So pretty much it was like the beginning of last year, literally January of 2025. And I used to be in another band with my first guitar player. And we went through like this whole process. We're like, hey, we're both music producers. Let's write some music and just have fun and see what happens with it. So we ended up coming up with the first single that was Falling. And I was like, you know what, let's hold off before we release anything. Let's get an EP going to do everything at once because it kind of sucks to do like everything like scatterbrained.
Sure.
And he didn't do that. So he decided to put it out into the world and everybody was like, oh, this sounds great. At that time, there was no Spotify. There was no YouTube. We didn't have anything for it. We barely even had the band name.
Right.
And I was like, well, I see this is getting some traction, so we have to like do stuff now.
Yeah.
So then we started building the Spotify, the website, the social pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And from there, it just kind of came together as a band where it was like, oh shit, this actually sounds pretty good. Let's actually make it a band instead of just like a studio project.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when we got the boys over here.
Nice.
So Tyler and Tony are actually two of the original members. So like he used to be our drummer, now he's our guitar player, Tony.
Wicked.
And Tyler's our bass player.
Multi-talented Tony.
Yeah.
Wicked.
And that's how it came to be. So
fantastic. So with your music, is it always conceived in the studio first?
It's always conceived in the studio, although like sometimes I don't mind jamming stuff out, but we're kind of more of a production-based band.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of like EDM elements and like pop elements and like, a lot of like synth stuff that kind of needs to be already choreographed into the music. Yeah. So we generally don't write stuff like that unless we're like in the studio and somebody just plays a riff and I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. And then that's how we kind of jam it out,
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I think it's, there's sort of like pros and cons to both. I feel like, because I feel like sonically, if you do it in the studio first, it'll push you live to reproduce it. So you might do something more interesting, which is cool. But then I feel like on the other side of it, the fact that you're making it in a DAW kind of influences the way it ends up getting written a little bit, which is, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just does. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I've had both, like projects where we sort of jam out the songs before we record them and studio projects, and both equally as fun, but in very different ways.
Yeah, it's completely different. I mean, because like I said, since our stuff is like more like, hip hop drums, EDM kind of elements to it, normally our songs are very structured around like pop music, so very clean chorus, very clean verses, heavy choruses. Yeah, back to verse, heavy breakdown. So there's really like not much guitar parts to it. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to sit there and be like, hey guys, let's write a chorus that sounds cool when you're just playing in 4/4. Yeah. So when you put in the DAW with all the other elements, it makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like doing it both ways. I don't really. I've done both. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, totally. Like what was when you conceived of the band, and I suppose more now, are you writing to like what would you say is like the driving force behind the writing of the music? Are you doing it for the love of the style of the music, or do you have like an eye on what you think people will like out there?
We're writing shit that we like. If we don't all hear something and go, dude, that sounds fucking dope, it's never going to see the light of day.
Hell Yeah, that's what I hoped
Yeah.
you would say.
Yeah. I mean, like every band, like, you know, like we have our influences and we try to like, I don't want to say mimic. We don't try to copy anything, but there are bands that we like, and sometimes the genres are like really scattered.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we like things like Architects, we like things like Siamese,
Yeah.
Dayseeker, Bad Omens. He likes Avenged Sevenfold, and
Yeah.
you know, we'll have a little bit of elements of everything. So
Yeah.
obviously there are influences there, but generally it's like, hey, that sounds cool, that works. Like when we sit down and write, it's not like let's overthink this one riff. It's just like, that sounds cool. Let's roll with it. And
Yeah.
if something comes up after that, like, that's great. Let's just keep rolling with it. We just keep going with it and refining it, you know?
It's just kind of as luck would have it too. Like, you know, the bands that are doing really, really well right now are, in a sense, the more production forward metalcore
Sure.
bands like Dayseeker, Bad Omens, President.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the style that everyone is kind of latching onto right now.
Yeah.
So like when we write something new, it's not like we're going out of our way to be like, oh, let's write a President song. Let's write a Dayseeker song. It's just like, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we like it, it'll come out.
Yeah.
And the influence will be easily heard because that's what's popular right now.
Yeah, it's like
Bad Omens-
I came to, I believe, you, and I had this like super, I thought it was way towards you. I think you said it was more Issues kind of sounding riff. And
Yeah.
we ended up turning it into like what sounded like a President song.
That's cool. And I think that, you know, it's just sometimes there's just something in the air. It's like the zeitgeist kind of just informs you. It's you know, because a lot of, if you're of a certain mindset and you've been following a certain like type of music, that's just what you like.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so it will come out because it's what you want to make. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, like music has to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, and nothing's new under the sun. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's-
that's why I always tell people, like, listen, you're not going to be 100% original. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Every chord progression has been written, and there was only so many things you could do in a rock chorus that's
Yeah.
not the same 3 or 4 chords.
Yeah.
So just roll with the 3 or 4 chords.
Yeah.
Try to make it as unique as possible, but just, you know, you're never going to be 100% original. It's
No, exactly. And I feel like it's really a kind of a naive sort of view of music that people dispel like pretty quickly once they sort of learn a bit more about it, and once they try writing songs themselves. The idea that you're trying to write something that's completely just original in the sense that it's like never been done before. Because it's just, you know, there's some quote like that, you know, every melody had been written by like the 13th century or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like there's literally you know, so that really doesn't, I haven't worried about that, but, you know, 30 years.
Yeah, sometimes I get bands in the studio that they want to do like things that are like, you know, they want to write like these things that are like 9/4, 7/4, you know, 13/4, whatever weird polyrhythmic thing they want to do. I'm like, that's cool, but at the same time, it's like, it sounds good. I like the idea. It's very artsy and conceptual, but at the same time, like, who do you want to hear your music? You know, do you want it to be just musicians?
Yeah.
Do you want it to be people that just want to like sit back and just be like, listen to a song like Just Pretend, for example? Like,
Yeah.
it's an easy song. It's like the same stupid 4 chords over and over again, but it's so catchy that it sticks in your mind, you know? So
Yeah, I think you can not see the wood for the trees as musicians sometimes. It's like you get really into the idea of like, you know, how hard is it to play, you know, and like, and then it's important to take a step back and be like, do I even like this?
Yeah,
You know what I
'cause
mean?
even as a musician, I don't want to sit there and count.
Yeah.
yep.
It's I think that, you know, not to say that there isn't like sort of mathcore and stuff like that music that isn't great. It's you know, I can be in the mood to like it, but actually when I'm in that kind of mood, what I really like is like trying to figure it out. You know, just the challenge of trying to figure it
Yeah.
out. That's what I like about it. you
Yeah,
know?
that's what I used to do with like Kadinja songs. Like I love
Yeah,
Kadinja. I love their techie guitar playing, but it's like, can I do it? Yeah. Do I want to write it for our music? Not really. I want the guys to headbang and
Do
you
I
know,
want to spend 2 hours writing 10 seconds of a riff? Not really.
yeah.
So
So good for you guys that can do it, but that's no.
I like the fact that you guys are kind of adventurous in terms of like the genres of music that you incorporate. It's always been something that it's always been something that I've done in all the music I've made. It's just kind of like, it's like I can't do it any other way. It's just how I'm wired. I don't feel the necessity to kind of constrain myself in that way. Sounds like you guys don't either, which is really cool. And I think that it you know, it makes the whole thing a lot of fun. You know?
Nothing's off the table for us.
Yeah, we've done like some of our songs have like synthwave influence. Some of the songs aren't even out yet, but when they come out, people are gonna be like, "Oh, now we get it," you know.
Yeah.
Some of the songs have like trap snares in them. Some of them have like 808s. So it's just it is what it is, you know.
Totally,
Whatever works for that part is just the way it works. The other day I was on I have a YouTube channel, and I write live on that YouTube channel. And I was like, I want to write something that's in the style of like President or something. I don't know, like they have these really like EDM dark tracks.
Yeah.
And we wrote an EDM metal song, and it's just
cool.
Just there. It's like we might use it for Chxsing Stxrs. I don't know, but
I mean, I always used to say back in the day that like drum and bass is basically metal.
yeah,
it's
literally, yeah. I mean, when
it's
that
like
whole
thrash, yeah.
yeah, when that whole skillet thing came out, what's that
Yes.
genre called? The
Skrillex dubstep.
dubstep. Yeah, dubstep is like it's metal with like
Yeah.
instruments. It's like
Yeah.
And it's funny because he came from like that emo kind
Yeah.
of scene shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, not all of it is because there's so much you can do with it, but there is there's a certain type of drum and bass and dubstep that's just frustrated rockers. You know what I mean? Who really wish that's what they were doing. But like, but yeah, so it works really well to just kind of mix those things together. My band does like kind of like reggae ska type stuff with drum and bass, and it just goes so well together. That's
so you guys are not frustrated.
no, because we do the rock as well.
Oh, so, sweet. I got you. That's good. Okay, so you guys are frustrated.
We would be frustrated,
But you would
but
be.
we're
Ah,
okay.
got it. All right. That makes more sense. Now I understand.
So let's get a little bit of a background on you guys' kind of like musical journeys in terms of learning your instruments and stuff. And why don't we start down there with Tony? How did you start playing?
Boy.
Oh boy, you started with the longest one. So my dad is a drummer. He started playing drums when he was 15. So I started drums at 7, guitar at 9.
Right.
Never took lessons for drums from my dad. I just monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
And we had I had a MIDI kit in my room, and we had an acoustic kit at home, which it helps when you're growing up having the equipment already there.
For sure.
That's usually a great way to get your kid into music, is have the
yeah.
shit there.
I grew up with a drum kit in the house. I'm so grateful for that. Yeah.
And then at 9, I also had an older brother who was taking guitar lessons from this guy named Tim Bauer, who also taught Chris Link of Attila.
Yeah.
Because they're from my area.
Yeah.
So I started taking lessons from him at 9.
Yeah.
And I've been playing ever since.
Cool.
I came down to Florida 2016, joined a band on bass.
Yeah.
Because if you can play guitar, you can play bass.
Essentially.
And, they needed a bass player.
Right.
I was in a band for 5 years as a guitar player. Miguel asked me to join this as a drummer. And then as the cards unfolded, he was like, hey, can you switch to guitar? Because you helped me write the shit. And our guitar player was on his way out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I mean, we wanted 2 guitar players initially anyway. So I was going to make the transition whether he stayed or left. But
Gotcha.
ended up
I've been
switching.
in a similar situation, except with sax. It's like I ended up on guitar. I feel like if you can play a bunch of instruments, it's you become like just very useful as a band member because you can just slot into different, what's needed at the time. You know what I mean? And I tend to always, even if I don't start that way, I tend to always end up on guitar. I think it's like, guitar's a funny thing because it's like, I always feel like guitar is a lot harder than people realize. It's like one of those instruments that's like, people kind of, I teach guitar 3 days out of the week, and a lot of the students who come to me, their first couple of lessons are a rude awakening. You know what I mean?
Oh, my fingers are bleeding.
Yeah. It's kind of opaque. Even like when it comes down to like figuring out which note you're playing, stuff like that,
Well, I give a lot of credit to Tim, the teacher that I had for the first 5 years, because again, I started at 9, and thankfully, again, I was born and raised in a musical household, so I was already like the more technical and theory concepts, they came to me more quickly because I had a better understanding of music from the jump.
Yeah.
But I was also his only student that was having him bring, because the way his lessons were structured were he'd bring me a song each week that I wanted to learn. And then at the end of it, he'd have like these scale sheets, and we'd go, okay, this song is in this key. Let's improv over it in this key with this scale.
Yeah.
Which, learn your fucking scales.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
After 5 years, because I was having him bring like Dream Theater, Avenged Sevenfold, I was having him bring like more difficult shit than any of his other students.
Yeah.
After 5 years, and this is a sign of a great teacher, by the way.
Hands you off.
After 5 years, he goes to my parents and goes, I have nothing left to teach him. He's already faster than me. He just needs to work
Yeah.
on his theory.
You
That's
know
a sign
what?
of a great teacher.
That's true. I feel like one of the things I did learn about teaching someone is not necessarily if it's someone who's been with you for a long time. There's always something you can teach someone, like, you know, in terms of, especially when you're significantly older than them, because you're just going to have different life experiences. But I agree with you that like that there's a point if it's a certain type of student and they're just like accelerating, there's no need to hold them back, you know?
Because like he obviously he was significantly older than me, and the stuff I was having to bring over, like, you know, Dream Theater and Avenged Sevenfold and the more proggy heavy stuff, it got to a point where it's like it was just not as familiar to him.
Yeah.
And this was also at a point where like YouTube was available, and like more and more bands that were going more and more complex were coming out, and he knew that I would be better off because I also had a freakishly good ear at this point and was good at picking things up by ear. He's like, the more complex you get, the less useful I'm going to be.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. No, totally. And I think that, you know, at that point, and another thing that is like, I would say that is a good thing you can do if your student is like getting into very complicated stuff and fast playing, is teach them a completely other side of music. Just be like, you know, you can either like find someone who's faster than you and keep going down that road, or the way I can be useful to you is like we'll study a side of music that you know nothing about. You know what I mean? That's a tack I've taken with certain students. Like I've definitely been in a situation with students where I'm like, you know, I feel like you'd be better with someone else at this point. But I've also kind of like, sometimes I'll present them like, you know, okay, so I'm not going to be able to teach you how to get like faster because you're like shredding the crap out of the guitar. But like, you know, what about if we just really concentrate on theory, something like that, you know? So that's another tack you can take. But you're right. I think it is a sign of a good instrumental teacher to know your limitations, no doubt.
Yeah, Tony was like, learn your place, teach. I'm better than you, bruh.
No, I always give credit to Tim where it's due, because he was an amazing teacher, and after 5 years, you know,
you'd eaten him up.
Yeah,
That's
not
great.
even, you know, that it was just also just a good sign of how good he is as a person, because he could have very easily kept coming once a week and getting money from my parents, but he was like, hey, I've pretty much tapped out everything that I can do at this point.
Big up Tim.
Yeah,
Props to Tim.
Shout out to Tim.
Yeah.
But Tyler, what's your story? Enough about me.
Yeah, let's do Tyler.
I got my first guitar at 6. It was this Toys R Us camo guitar with the speaker built in that I immediately covered in Clone Wars stickers.
Nice. That's awesome. You still have a guitar with a speaker in it, but a different type.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Inspire guitar.
He likes
yeah.
weird stuff. I don't know.
Was it a first act?
Huh?
Was it a first act guitar?
I was 6, dude. I have no fucking idea.
I think that was the Toys R Us line. I
I
think
think
it was
it
first
was.
act.
It
or
was-
something.
yeah. But eventually, you know, I got an acoustic at 10. Didn't really play it. I played the open strings. You know, maybe I got one finger on the fret and stuff like that. I didn't really have a teacher. My parents couldn't really afford it at the time. But eventually, when I went to high school, I picked up bass because I was the only bass player in my guitar class because my high school taught guitar.
Yeah.
So I was like, we need a bass player. I was like, fuck it, they're here.
Yeah, there you go.
So for that Christmas, my dad got me the Dean starter kit with the little amp, and then he actually bought me on top of that a Fender Rumble,
Oh,
the
cool,
small one.
okay.
Yeah, the small one.
They're
And
not bad. Fender Rumbles are a lot better than they have any right to be.
oh, they're great. They're great.
Good practice amps.
But pretty much played the fuck out of that for many years. My buddy's dad at the time was cleaning out houses, found an Ibanez, and one of them he's like gave it to me. He just gave it to me. I was like,
Cool.
fuck it. It's one of the cheaper low end Ibanez. I was like, fuck it, I'll take it over the Dean because
Yeah.
the Dean's neck felt like a Gibson. It felt like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And the gloss didn't really go with my hands.
Yeah, when you're learning bass, like an Ibanez is great, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I love that.
I mean,
still
when
have it.
you're
The neck-
good at bass, I know
the
it's
neck
great.
is split as hell though. I'm literally
Right.
super gluing it every couple months just to keep the neck together.
That's wild.
But
we like over the years, like there's always been one knocking around, like to teach on. I think right now, I don't think we do have an Ibanez right now, but almost always there's one here because they are great teaching guitars.
They
They're
are
perfect.
And then pretty much I kind of shelved bass for a little bit because I picked up a guitar and I started really my first true band with pretty much my best friend who's become my sister. We were called Cross My Path. He actually used to manage the band.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. But then she got pregnant. I pretty much was like, hey, we cannot play this band. Focus on being a mother.
Yeah.
And then I ended up joining Red Light District originally as the bassist.
Right.
So that was the first time I actually picked up bass in years.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of fell in love with it because the guitarist we had was great, but we left a lot of open spaces. So
Yeah.
I was pretty much the solo bassist.
Nice.
So I would solo the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah.
It was great. And then he actually, how I got into this band to play bass was he came to photograph Cross My Path
Oh.
in Miami. And actually, that was his test on drums, I'm pretty sure.
I wasn't, motherfucker. I wasn't a test. I was an emergency fill-in because
He was an emergency fill-in. He filled in on drums for us.
Well, to give context, I wasn't just their manager. I was also their producer.
Yeah,
so I
sure.
helped write the drum parts. So when they
Gotcha.
needed a fill-in, I was the
Luckily,
guy that
you
made
knew the
sense.
songs.
I
Yeah,
knew the
Exactly,
songs.
yeah. But he came to one of our shows. Actually, before that show, he showed me Falling, or he said he was Miguel was starting up this band and they needed a bassist.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. I'm going to talk to Miguel when he gets there because this was like the second time I've ever met Miguel.
Right.
Another
And
guy.
I talked to him about it. The next day, he sends me Falling. He's like, cool. I'm going to ask the guitarist if you can join. And I said, yeah. And he said, Des said, yeah. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Sick.
There you
That's
go. And we
excellent.
became best friends ever since.
Pretty much.
I mean, I don't like them very much, but they're kind of cool.
He tolerates
Yeah.
us.
Tolerate 'em.
It's debatable. A best friend, it becomes a love-hate relationship after a certain point.
I'm one of the only
No,
two
these
people
guys-
that cook in his kitchen.
No, these guys are cool. I love these guys. I defend them with my life. I
Hell
love
yeah, dude. Yeah. It's important to like. Hector and I both always say that, like, I mean, in my opinion, it's more important that like your band members aren't dicks than they're like incredibly good at the instrument.
No,
Because
they're dicks.
someone can always get you can always teach someone how to play, but you can't really teach someone how to not be a dick. You know?
Yeah, no, they're dicks. But like, but the good thing is that I'm also a dick, so we could all just be
There you
dicks
go.
together.
We just feed off each
We
other.
just feed off each other's dickery.
Well, I
Throw
think
dicks around.
Just sitting around feeding off each other's dicks all day.
Yeah.
there's a chemistry element as well because obviously, like especially with how saturated of a market there is, if you want your band to succeed, you have to treat it as a business to a certain extent.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, you're supposed to do this because you love it
a
and
weird
because
mix,
you
isn't it?
like
Yeah.
being creative with the people in your group. You don't do this because you feel like you have to. You know what I mean? You can't treat this like we can't treat each other like employees for shit we don't get paid to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah.
not going to work. Like you take it seriously when it needs to be taken seriously, but at the end of the day, this shit's supposed to be fun. We're
Yeah.
supposed to have a good time and enjoy what we do because
Yeah.
we're not getting paid for this shit right now. So if we don't enjoy it now, we're never going to get to the point where this is a career.
Yeah.
We're just not.
No, that's it. It's important to enjoy it. It's important to enjoy life in general. It's all about the journey. You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to get it back. It's the only time around. You know what I mean? So-
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good thing for you guys. If you guys are gonna put a band together, make sure that your best friends are dicks. make sure they're dicks. It'll get
Make
along
sure.
way better.
Make
Yeah.
sure.
Make sure you're on equal levels of dickery.
Yeah, exactly.
And make sure one can cook.
That's important.
Tyler.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Tyler's your chef.
I am the band chef. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, man.
Miguel, what's your story? You're the oldest one in the band.
Oh, thank you.
I know, right?
I mean, I know I look 27, but that's what the men tell me.
Still older than me.
That's what the men tell me. No, that's
what the men tell me.
So but my story, I mean, it's not really musical. I never really had musical people in my family. I mean, my dad was like a DJ. That's the extent of like musicality I had in my family.
What kind of DJ?
Latin music,
Cool.
Cuban,
Yeah,
typical.
right.
One of those guys.
Got it.
He'd show up and steal your girl at the club. But where do you think I get the looks from, my boy? So, but no, that was the extent of the musicality. But really, music for me came a little bit later when I was like 16.
Yeah.
Before that, I've always liked to put things together. I'll tie this at the end, but I've always liked to play with like Legos and stuff like that, and like build stuff out of like cracker cans, whatever I could find.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I was like, I kind of needed that back a little bit. I've always been like artsy, painting, drawing, all that stuff.
Cool.
And when I was 16, I had music classes, throughout my whole time in school. When I got to high school, really is when I started really getting into it. In 16th, when I was 16, I picked up a first act guitar for my parents bought me. They could afford. It was like $150 from Toys R Us, and that was my, bullet for my Valentine love guitar. I permanent markered the bullet for my Valentine gun on it with like the little, like Page's ESP.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like for maybe like 5 or 6 years, I was nothing but playing like covers with like bands and stuff. Just learning on YouTube. I never really had like structured teaching besides what I learned in high school. Because in high school, I took like jazz, orchestra, band. I had all of those classes for like all 4 years.
Yeah.
But then after that, I was just like, I got to a point where I was in a band. I was recording some stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe it can kind of be a good idea if I got my own computer so I could learn how to produce stuff.
Yeah.
So every time you go to the studio, it's not $3,000 on a single.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked up producing, and ever since then, that's what I've been doing. Little by little, just putting everything together. Started off with Reaper, because it was free, and seeing if I liked it with some Foster 3-inch bookshelf speakers I picked up at a pawn shop.
Yeah.
And that's how I started doing stuff. And since then, I've just been producing stuff. I love putting stuff together. So like, my love for it comes from like the back end of like the producing stuff. Like I don't mind playing on stage. I love that too because I interacting with people and stuff. But the back end really is what I love. I love doing the back end production stuff.
I get it. I would say 90% of my time is spent like in front of my computer mixing or making like visual art on in Blender or something like that. I just love it too. So much fun.
Small voice. Yeah. Music and visual people.
You didn't even talk about singing because you are the vocalist.
Oh, that's right. Singing. Sorry, singing. I just used to grab pencils and sing like Wheelie Chirino and Latin music.
Yeah.
When I was like 5 years old, and then
cool.
when I was doing covers in high school, I was singing. So like I was doing like Bullet for My Valentine covers and like Escape the Fate and whatever emo story of the year kind of stuff was going on back then.
Yeah.
But I mean, at one point I did have like some formal lessons, more like choir lessons that only lasted like maybe 2 or 3 months.
Right.
Because the band, as it was coming up, we had like this record label that was interested in it. Long story short, it kind of fell through because the contract was shit. Never signed a 360 deal. Luckily, we had somebody look at it that was like a family lawyer, and they were like, "Don't sign this, or now you're gonna get like fisted."
Yeah.
So we kind of ripped it up and threw it away. But yeah, that's kind of how I for me, singing, it's not like I never like sat there and been like, oh, I'm gonna practice my notes today. It's just something that I kind of like figure out on the spot. I just do it,
Yeah, I think for a lot of people who are singers, that's the case. It's one of those things where it's like you can either naturally just do it or you have to work at it. And like some people, like not to say that you can't get better if you can naturally do it, but certain people like just sort of like just come out like okay at singing already. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you can take it from there. But like I always think it's interesting, and I have a lot of respect for people who can't sing and learn to sing, because that is a tough road. When you meet someone who really cannot sing at all, and then but they get there. You know? Like that's one of the because you have to like develop a sense, because I always feel like with singing, right, it's less to do with the actual singing, it's more to do with like how good your ear is. It's like whether or not you can translate what you're hearing into reproducing it, and like and learning how to listen in that way is hard for some people.
I think for me,
I'm always very
kinda,
impressed when people get there.
Yeah, I think for me, like I picked it up from just being in the studio and like recording other vocalists.
Yeah,
because I'm in there all the time, like figuring out keys of songs, what melodies to sing, what kind of stuff, and I always have to like kind of tell them like sing it like this. Yeah, and I will hit their pitch if they need to, and they look at me like, dude, like you could do it, like so it's like I'm like, but maybe I could be a singer at some point,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's where I kind of like picked it up just from like getting other people in the studio, and it's one of those things, like you can go into a studio, just record a song, and congrats, you recorded a half-ass song, or you can go into the studio and record a song with emotion, and it has more meaning to it than just I sang a song today. You got me?
Yeah, for sure.
So every time I get like artists in the studio, it's always like, give me more emotion.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like crack your voice this way, add a breath here.
Yeah.
Pretend like you're breaking down. I will literally give them the microphone, not on the stand, and be like, perform as if you're performing on stage.
For sure, man. So, I say a lot of the time to people I'm recording, it's like delivery and like just vocal interest, passion is like more important than getting the notes right.
Oh yeah,
we can fix the notes.
We can fix, it's on the same thing. They've been in the studio when I record artists, and it's the same thing. It's like I don't care about the notes. You can mess the note up. Listen, if it's a whole step down, I don't care. I can fix it, and it will still sound fine. Don't worry about it. We have mantra, and we have every other auto-tune plugin you can think of.
Yeah.
But the emotion is like you can't fake that.
No.
You know, I can't just add a little bit of reverb or like breath to it and be like, oh great, now it's emotional. It doesn't work that way.
That's actually another thing that like people I either sort of innately get or they don't, but you can learn. But it's like some people I've when I've started teaching them, they don't even know, but they're just sort of going like, and I'm singing, and they don't even like, they're just like hitting the notes and that's it. You know what I mean? And so, but you draw, you know, people's attention to it and you can get like way better at it, but it's mad. Singing is interesting. And I feel like it says a lot, how you sing says a lot about who you are, how you appreciate music. It's very personal.
Yeah.
It's just coming from inside of you. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of the few instruments, it's the maybe only, apart from maybe clapping, it's just you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's, I just think that's fascinating about singing.
Yeah, I got two things that I say in the studio all the time. One is if I got to do it for my band, I sit in front of the microphone and I do 20 takes until I get the right one. You got to also do it. And two, sing like you give a fuck about the song.
Yeah, for reals.
Because if you're just gonna sing like you could hit all the notes you want, it'll be in key and it'll sound beautiful in one key. But it's like, okay, you sang a song. There's nothing interesting about it.
We're producing a band right now. We own a production company called Integration Media.
Cool.
And we're in the process of producing a band right now. And you know, this is a band that's like, you know, that's fresh. They've never been properly recorded and produced before. And the singer, you know, we've he's had to say that a few times where it's like she's still figuring out how to perform in studio.
Yeah,
because she's used to doing like, you know, open mic nights or karaoke or something. She's used to being on stage, but it's like doing that in a soundproofed room is weird for the first time.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to like manifest the energy. Yeah.
So the number of times he's like, okay, you hit the right notes. Now do it again like you give a fuck.
Yeah. 100%.
That's right. Hey,
You
give
almost have to,
Maddie
like,
more credit than that. Maddie's a good singer.
Maddie's a great
She's
singer.
a great singer.
Yeah.
But
Maddie's a great singer.
But like in the studio, we have already like the first EP almost done, and every time I record it, she just gets better and better and better and better. It's just like it's mind blowing. Like when she first came in, it was just like she's a choir kid, so she sings choir, and it's like okay, that works for certain parts. But now she's at the point where she's like screaming, like she's doing like gutturals. I'm like,
I'll never
shit.
forget the first song that we had her like put oomph and power and emotion behind. I remember her saying like, oh, so do everything that my choir teacher told me not to do.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
Yeah,
It's funny.
Fuck choir. This
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
chorus. You're not singing a hymn.
Yeah,
You're singing something from the heart now.
Yeah. Or if you are singing a hymn, it's for the other guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
So the what was it gonna, oh yeah, something that when I'm personally recording vocals, if I have to record something for myself, I try and go past where I want it emotionally and then dial it back in. So I can just kind of hear, like I try and get, if I listen back to a take and I'm like, whoa, I went, that's too much. And I just kind of bring it a little bit back from there. And it's usually the right spot.
I go the opposite. I just go all out. It's almost like, well, you film, so you know camera stuff. So it's like, it's the same thing as like shooting a music video. The more you give me in front of the camera, the better it's going to look.
You have to exaggerate it more than you think. Like, it's like something that I was talking to a friend about the other day is it's like, yeah, when you're recording vocals, you have to go you have to give it a lot more than you think you'll get. It's like when it's like, it's hard to explain what I mean, but it's like the amount of energy you have to put in it more than you think is a lot.
It's a lot.
You know?
It's a lot. And I noticed that like before, like recording and performing our songs, it's like in the studio, I'll blow my voice out sometimes recording our songs because I'm trying to really get like that singing grit that I really want. But then when I do it live, it's like, okay, I could just kind of do it and dial it back a little bit. And I guess it's kind of like, it's a live show. It's loud. Nobody really gives a shit. So
It's also the adrenaline kicking in.
Yeah,
as well.
the adrenaline also kind of helps you helps me get through a 30-minute set.
Live.
And I got him screaming too live, thank God. 'Cause the whole like that's not me. I can't. I could like sing scream, but I can't do his deep death metal growls. But yeah, it's right. You're right. Yeah, in the studio, it's like you have to give it like 110%.
Yeah, and something that I noticed as well is like the awareness of what's coming out your mouth when you're very early on in your sort of singing, sort of like learning how to sing. It's like a lot of people won't even realize that when they're recording or whether they're practicing at home, they're doing it 1 octave, and then if they're singing with the band, it shoots to up an octave. I don't even realize they're doing it at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to point it out, and they're like, "Oh yeah," you know. It's
Like, oh,
funny.
yeah.
All right, listen. I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to listen to a song. What should we listen to?
Embrace.
Embrace. Throw on some Embrace.
Excellent. Let's do it. We'll be right back, and we'll talk a bit about Embrace and find out what's coming up for you guys.
Do it.
All right.
Lately I've been talking to myself, things I wouldn't wish upon anybody else. All the times I've been shamed and put down on my knees. Tonight I bury the bottle and pray for my peace, because the scars that I've been hiding are fading away. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. I've chosen to embrace everything that I could never change. Is this where I belong? Been afraid for far too long. I will break these chains and burn away the shame. I've been fooled to thinking that I'm a worthless being, staring at the mirror that peers into my soul. Reflections show no mercy, they never let me go. I've chosen to embrace everything that I could never change. Is this where I belong? Been afraid for far too long. I will break these chains and burn away the shame. What we could never change, we shall still embrace. Burn away the shame. I've chosen to embrace everything that I could never change. Is this where I belong? Been afraid for far too long. I will break these chains and burn away the shame.
All right. So we just listened to Embrace. That's a banger. I love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like it's one of those tunes that but it's an earworm. It's great. It's poppy, but it's heavy. It's like, what more do you need?
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, I really like it. So before we get into talking about it, something we do on this podcast, have been doing since we started it 5 years ago, is we ask, do you have any advice for people getting into the music game? Let's start.
Don't.
Don't.
I mean,
If you wanna have a bank
apart from
account.
the obvious, don't. Yeah.
For the music game, I mean, listen, there's different routes you could take in the music world. There's like, you could be a cruise musician. You could try to be a class level band. Which that's the off 1% chance of getting there.
Sure.
You don't have to just be. You don't. Everybody tries to aim for like being like a band as big as like Bad Omens, or if you're into like Metallica or whatever. But there's so many different avenues to like
Yeah.
make a living doing music, that you really don't need to hit those play. You don't even need a record label nowadays, really.
Yeah.
I mean, just get some good social media,
Yeah.
write some badass songs,
Yeah.
build your fan base, connect with people, and that's really what matters the most.
Yep.
You know, all the cool guitar stuff, it's good to learn in the beginning, you know, like you could sweep pick, do all that crazy stuff. None of that stuff really matters in the end.
Yeah.
Write cool music that's congruent with what's going on in the modern day and kick some ass. And obviously revolve yourself around people that also support what you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, when I say support, I don't mean like just like monetary, but like I've had family members that just, you know, they always used to put me down for trying to do music or whatever, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I just say, fuck it, I'm going to keep on going and doing it because I love doing it. So
And if you're a certain type of person, that all that does is spur you on more as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I agree with everything you said. You're it's clear that you know what he's talking about, and it's really great to have you on here, eloquent and you know, good. All the different angles, you guys have got it covered. So you know, I respect that advice. And if you're listening, that's good advice. What about you, man? Any advice?
Learn your instrument before you think about joining a band. Because I've known so many people where it's like, oh yeah, I've been playing guitar or bass for like 6 months, and it's like, cool. At least play for 2 years before you even think about joining a band.
Learn the basics.
Learn the basics. Like, you don't have to be a fucking god at it or something like that. But if it's like, cool, if I see the guitarist over there, he's playing something, you know, in say G minor. It's like, cool. If you're a bassist, you should know at least 4 of those notes.
Yeah,
Automatically, where you can try to either. It depends on the genre and stuff like that, but it's like if you can at least find the root note,
Yeah.
and maybe add some like accents, or even it's a simple thing that bass do, just add the fucking octave.
Yeah, if nothing else, it makes it a lot more fun if you
Exactly.
got to, you know,
It's like
yeah.
you look across the room, you have to stop practice. Wait, what note are you playing? Or it's
Yeah.
like I've been in rooms with musicians where it's like they know that stuff, and I'm playing the chord, and I'm obviously like playing the chord, and I'm like, what fret are you on? And I'm like,
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
not fucking see?
Yeah, totally, man. No, that, you know, solid. But all right. Last but not least.
Oh, which avenue do I want to go? At a basic, there's so many things I could say just because of like recent shit I've gone through.
You can be a little bit controversial if you like.
Don't be a fucking dick.
For sure.
sounds like experience.
I will plead the fifth. I mean, yeah, it goes back to what I was saying before. Just like, it's one thing to take it seriously and try to make it your job, but there is such thing as treating it too much like a business. Don't lose yourself in the pursuit of fame, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
that even means
exactly.
nowadays. But also, you know what? I think here's a controversial take for you. You don't get to complain about your scene if you do nothing to improve it.
My man.
There, I said it.
Yeah,
Most of the people bitching about their scene don't support local shows. They don't support
Yeah.
their friends.
Yeah.
God forbid your friends get more streams than you. That support automatically
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that shit.
You know what? That's absolutely true. And something that this week it's just been a bit of a topic of conversation with me and my friends. It's like, tell me something you do like. You know what I mean? It's like, why you got to be negative all the time? It's not helping anybody. It doesn't make you look cool. You know what I mean? It's just stupid. And you know, a rising tide raises all ships. You know, it's like it's important to have each other's backs, and ultimately a lot more fulfilling, because all like, you know, jealousy and hatred is going to bring you is just more of the same. You
It's
know?
like, instead of treating it as a battlefield, why not treat it as camaraderie with a common goal?
Hell yeah.
'Cause,
That's-
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you for instance, like in the previous band that I was in, we had an opportunity to play a national opener at a local venue down here. I'm being very vague. And 2 days before the show, we get an email from the venue saying, "Hey, we need one more band on this." And I'm going to shout out my boys in Further Within. Love you guys. The venue asked my band at the time, like, who do you think? And I called them and said, "Hey, I want to share this with you guys. I want you guys up there with me because I fucking love you. I believe in what you do, and I want to see you guys grow." That mentality is not shared with everybody down here,
No.
and it's a shame.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, here's a foreign concept. I like seeing my friends do cool shit.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not the one doing cool shit,
Yeah.
I can still be happy for my friends.
Yeah.
What a
Absolutely.
concept.
It's, you know what? just to be super real, it's not always easy either. But because every now and again, it will be a little bit like, sort of like, the little green goblin will sneak in sometimes, but you just got to be aware of it and just change that mentality and switch it around, because as soon as you do, a huge weight is lifted. It's so much better to be supportive in life, and it's something that I learned relatively late on. Not that I was necessarily like a horrible person or anything, but I was very competitive when I was younger, and around sort of like 6-7 years ago, I just kind of like had a little bit of a kind of paradigm shift in the way I approach the world, and it's just made me so much happier. I tell you.
Yeah, it's got to be like that sometimes, because it's like, listen, I'm gonna be upfront and honest with everybody here. I could give a flying fuck about making it as an artist in the music industry because I like the production side of stuff.
Yeah.
But even at the end of the day, even doing that, like you could still show support for like the bands in your area,
Yeah.
I try to make it out to shows when I'm not booked.
Yeah.
Because you guys keep me booked all the time, so it's kind of hard to go out to shows. But
It's a good problem to have. Good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, but it's like I can't go to shows. Like I wanted to see Exigent. Shout out to Exigent at Banyan, but I couldn't go because I was booked in the studio. I let them know that they invited me personally, but yeah, it's just and it's not. We're not saying it just for like our sake, because it's like it's not. Nobody supports Chxsing Stxrs. Like we have followers, we got people that like our music, but we don't say it for our sake to be like follow us because we're Chxsing Stxrs. We could give a fuck.
Yeah, we don't do follow for follow.
We don't do
just
follow.
go. We just go out and hang out. It's like,
Just don't be a dick. You know?
And the scene is what you make it. And if you're complaining about the scene, the one biggest thing you can do to fix it is show up to a gig. Like
oh yeah,
you have to be the scene that you want. Otherwise, it'll never happen. It's and the amount of whining about like, it's not as good as it used to be, stuff like that. It's just people say this stuff just to sound cool, and it's just exhausting. It's just, the amount of lazy people out there going on about the good old days.
yeah. It's ask that person, what was the last local show you went to?
Exactly.
Yeah, I whine about it all the time. But no, yeah, it's true. I think that it's very. I mean, listen, it is a competitive industry. I'm not saying that sometimes it's not fun and games. Sometimes it's like it's very cutthroat. But even in those instances, it's like I get everybody's trying to like make something out of something, but that doesn't mean that you can't just go and support your local other band. It's like
This podcast is really based on the core principle that a rising tide raises all ships. The whole reason we do it, it's like that's the whole thing, and it's like and just that the fact that I get to sort of like champion and meet so many different bands and things. Very fulfilling for me. Doing this, which is, like make money out of it or anything like that. It's just because we thought add something to the ecosystem. You know what I mean? Has been so great. It's so fulfilling. It's a lot of fun, and I've learned tons from all the different people who've come on, and anything you can do like that, where you're sort of like the goal is to help other people. It'll repay itself 1,000-fold.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
And a big thing also, if you do play a show, stay for the other bands.
Yeah, totally.
You can go pack up. You can go put your shit in the car.
Yeah,
but stay for the other bands because they showed up for you. You show up for them. That is a big thing in this scene that I see a lot.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
a lot of like opening bands. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, that's cheeky. And every now and again, I feel like it's fair enough. Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah,
or whatever. But if
obviously.
you've got no reason to leave,
Let's say you play your set and just go home and fuck off. It's like, if you got like work in the morning, if it's like a week show or something like that, I understand that 100%. But like, if it's a weekend, you're there drinking with your friends and you just played your set and you just pack up and go home, and it's like, what about the other bands, dude?
I know. And I feel like that kind of just sort of social awareness is something that can be learned as well. It's not necessarily that people are just like nasty. It's just need to sort of like understand what's important to do. You know what I mean?
Remember, you're not too good for anybody else.
Yeah, totally.
You are not who you think you are.
Yeah,
I promise you. Everyone,
all the Axl Roses out there.
Oh my fucking God. There's a reason why that attitude, like there's a reason why Guns N' Roses now with that rock star attitude would never be successful today. But it's also like, dude, every headliner started as an opener. Bad Omens 5 years ago was playing Propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. And
Kill your fucking ego.
Someone said to me, a guy, there was this this UK band called Skunk and Anansie back in the 90s and early 2000s that were really successful in Europe, and they didn't really manage to make it happen over here. But you know, his big piece of advice, he had two. One was, if you're good to people on the way up, they'll be good to you on the way down, and the other one was, the people who make it often the last people left in the room. You just check it out, you know?
Yep.
It's like tenacity.
You can ask any show that him and I have gone to. We're always the last fucking people.
Yeah.
We actually help. We went to his old band, played a show in Orlando, and we were hanging out with the headliner, who was a European band called Siamese. And we were hanging out with them, actually helping them move the merch back into the truck and stuff like that. And literally, they were like, "Hey, do you want to come on the bus and drink with us?
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna go to a bar. Do you guys want to come with us?
Yeah.
It's like, because we were the last people to stick around.
Yeah, the amount, it's like, if you're in that position where you're in a slightly sort of like, you know, your show and people are coming to see you, and if you're super welcoming and nice to people, they remember it. They, you know, it has a huge effect. It's the kind of thing that they'll always remember. They'll tell people, you know what I mean? It's like, it's got to be nice to people in life. Don't be a dick. Exactly.
Don't be a dick.
Unless it's your bandmates.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
then it's
fuck
fine.
these
You
guys.
can just sit around like, you know, we talked about that. All right. So the last thing that there's two more things. One is, let's talk about that the song we just listened to, Embrace. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, actually, man, it's. I feel kind of scatterbrained on it because it was like a while ago. That song had,
You want to let me take over?
fill in as I forget things. You could interrupt me as I fill things in. But originally, that song was, we tried writing it together as a band when we first started.
Like
it was actually
February.
the second song that we wrote after Falling, and we did it in our old guitar player Dez, who plays in AMOV. We did it in his studio, and it was like, it's a weird convoluted thing of noises that's like, okay, some of this could work, some of this can't. So we just kind of put it in the back burner for months, possibly almost like a year. And then one day I was listening to it, I'm like, hey, you know, some of these parts are actually really good. They could kind of work, because Tony had the chorus for it.
Yeah.
It was actually, it's Tony's song, so he wrote all the guitar parts, and he had the idea for the chorus of something that he had. What was it, like an Instagram post, something that he made?
No, I had the vocal hook, the main hook for the chorus in my head. That was the first thing I wrote from the song.
Right.
The first line of the chorus you hear. And the initial version of the song we tried writing instrumentally was a little bit too, it was too fast, it was too busy, it was too, you know, mid-2000s metalcore, and it didn't serve the song.
It was very Breaking
because the vocal line that you hear, the hook that you hear in the first part of the chorus, that is the focal point of the song. That's
for
the
sure.
earworm.
Yeah.
And I sat down with Miguel and I was like, okay, we can't let this song die because it's too good.
Yeah.
But we have to restructure it so that it actually serves the vocal.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing with modern metalcore, what's known as octane core, is everything instrumentally has to serve the fucking vocal.
For sure. And I think it's honestly good advice in general when making rock, you know what I mean? It's like,
learn to write things that serve the song and not serve your ego.
Yeah, totally.
Start with the chorus. That's what I think what most of these guys would say. Start with the chorus.
Write the hook. Write the hook
Normally,
first.
when I write music, I always start with the chorus first, and then I work my way backwards from there, because everything's kind of easy to like layer after that.
Yeah.
But that song, yeah. So he had the vocal melody for, you know, I've chosen to embrace everything that I cannot change. So that was his vocal melody, and then we kind of like sat down and we took it back to my place, opened up the session. I'm like, you know what? Let's actually work on this. So we sat down with it for a couple days. Our guitar player, Des, came down at the time, so we recorded everything. Like we are very meticulous when we record.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I will say. Like, if you want that modern sound,
Yeah.
be meticulous in the way that you record, because we literally do things note by note.
Yeah.
Edited perfectly to a grid.
Sure.
Doesn't work all the time, but for some things it does work. You know,
We've loosened up on that a little bit as well, especially when it comes to choruses, because like, if you can't play a chorus progression cleanly, like,
what are you doing?
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, there's a fine line with that, because you want to get it like crisp and pristine, but it still wants to have a little bit of movement in it. You know? what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Yeah.
It still has to sound human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our breakdowns, we'll do it like note by note, and we'll you know, because they're supposed to be like really tight. Like,
Yeah.
I stray away from like adding gates to stuff unless I have to.
Yeah.
You know, just to get the noise floor out of the way. But everything else is like really tight. But to actually finish the story on the song, so I liked the chorus hook. I wrote some of the lyrics. He came up with the other part for the it's peering. What is it? Peering in the mirror. That I forget the lyrics.
Staring in the mirror.
Staring at the mirror that peers into my soul.
Yeah.
So 'cause I was
Reflections
stuck on
never
it.
end.
I will straight flat out tell you guys that I suck with lyrics. Like I could come up with a first verse and I could come up with a chorus, second verse. I'm just like I'm my brain is shot. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm tapped out. You know, it takes me sometimes days to come up with it.
Also,
So-
it helps, just adding further context, we live together,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is also really helpful if you're going to be in a band with someone.
I
and
bet
you're the
you
main
wake up in the
writers.
middle of the night just like, I got the idea for the second verse.
3 a.m. It's the witching hours.
Banging on the wall.
I gotta get up in 5 hours for work.
Right. And we had the song demoed out completely on the computer. Everything was tracked perfectly. And then Tyler, you had like a Schecter 7-string that Brian from Fame on Fire wanted.
Yeah, so I traded my Diamond Series white 7-string Schecter for that mix and the vocal tracking with Brian up in Boardwalk Studios in West Palm here.
Right, yeah, cool.
So
Yeah.
we got the track with him and he got the mix and master, and that was a fun experience.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is a great song, and that the chorus reminded me. Not that it sounds the way you were talking about the way you approach the chorus reminded me of something that I'm doing where it's like if we were just getting in the way of ourselves. We pulled so much out of it. It's like went into halftime in the chorus, and it's like, oh, there it is. You just gotta let
Yeah.
it breathe. You know?
Yeah, it's not, you just need space. I like
Yeah.
writing big choruses, but
Yeah.
that whole song to get into like the not so techie aspect of it is just kind of like I was telling you about the whole thing with like my advice for people getting into music about the whole family situation. And like I've had friends of mine that put me down doing music stuff. So all the lyrics are like really personal, you know, so it's all about like me growing up. People always doubted the stuff that I can do. I've always been like a hyper creative person.
Yeah.
I suck at technical stuff. I suck at math.
Yeah,
I'm like horrible at anything else. But like when it comes to like
Oh,
creative
we
things,
related.
I'm like you give me a camera, like I shoot photography, I do music videos, I can learn that stuff like this, but when it comes to anything else, I'm just kind of like crap at it.
Yeah.
So because of that, I guess me growing up, like I've always had like a rough upbringing in that situation where it's like people tell me like, oh, go to college or like become a doctor or like a lawyer. I'm like my brain can't. I just can't retain it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the lyrics come out, where it's just like I've chosen to embrace what I can't change. This is who I am. So go fuck yourself, you know?
Yeah. And it's, like it's important to be able to do that, to be able to be able to sort of be comfortable with who you are, because only really then can you like capitalize on it. You know what I mean? And it's something that it took me a long time to to accept myself, warts and all. I don't think I necessarily have all the way yet, but a lot better than I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
By the way, shout out to my mom because she has been supportive, by the way. I love you, Mom. Mom is great.
Nice
love you.
one.
I think
To everybody else, fuck everybody else.
the initial concept, like I think it did. I know what you're saying now. When it comes to like it came from an Instagram post. I did a photo shoot a while back with this photographer Jeremy Saffer, and for context, I have only one eye. I was born without a left eye.
Right.
So a couple years ago, I had a stage piece made because I can't change it. Might as well embrace it.
Sure.
It looks cool, and I think that's where like the initial line came from, and then the melody itself came after. But like, my handle on Instagram for years since I started Instagram has been 7-fingered Cyclops because
Right.
I'm a fucking Cyclops. It is what it is. I was born without it. I can't change it. That is uniquely me. No one else can claim that.
Totally, yeah.
So I think that's kind of where the concept came from, was like learning to like not beat yourself up or give too much mental energy to something that you physically have no control over.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's no greater personal pursuit than the pursuit of sort of self-actualization, relaxing, understanding who you are, being comfortable with it. It's what we all strive for. The great thing to write a song about. So, what's coming up next for you guys? What any gigs, shows, anything anyone should know?
We do have a gig coming up August 9th at Banyan. It's going to be one of our headlining shows. It's going to be with, I was about to say with Chxsing Stxrs, but that's us.
That's us.
It's going to be with Great Control. We're going to have what's
Inner
and AMOV, A Moment of Violence, is going to be also opening it up.
Cool.
Which I got to make a flyer for. So
Yes, you do.
I got to renew the flyer. So because we just added them, but that's going to be what's coming up on August 9th. In the next couple weeks, we have like 3 more singles that we're going to be putting out. We're going to package it as an
Nice.
EP. So those songs are already done mixed. I'm just going to send them out to get them mastered by the boy Chris Crummett.
Cool.
He's number 1. And yeah, I mean, we just have like a like little more like studio stuff coming up. Like the EP, after the EP is done, I think we're just gonna like chill and like be a bit more selective with our shows.
Yeah. Banyan's a good venue, man. That's awesome.
Banyan's, I love
yeah.
Banyan. Banyan's
Shout out
great.
Aaron and Liz at Banyan, by the way.
Yeah, they've been awesome. And I think from there, we're just going to be like, shooting some content, getting some stuff out, a couple music videos that we want to push out that, we're probably going to be self-produced kind of stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, whatever comes after that, shout out to our manager, Ashley. She does cool
Hell yeah.
shit in the background.
Big
She's
up, Ashley.
trying to get us some shows and hooking us up with some bigger people. So we're just kind of in the kind of like the gray area waiting zone.
Well, listen, I hope that this gig goes great. What's the date of it again?
August 9th.
Okay, so August 9th, you got to go and see these guys, Chxsing Stxrs, at Banyan Live. What a cool place to play. What a cool place to go and see them. They're really good. This tune that we just listened to, Embrace, absolute banger. As you can see, lovely fellas. So, yeah, nice one. Do all the stuff, like, subscribe, etc. And we'll see you next week. I'm going to get working on the recap episode for the festival. Just been non-stop trying to sort a bunch of studio stuff out, so I haven't had time to finish it, but I'm on it, promise you. So that'll be coming out, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having us, man. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
Better scenes, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about.